about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Everyone on their feet, 4th and 1. The give is to Bigsby. First down. Jacksonville, what a hole cleared by Fred Johnson. Rosie O'Donnell could have fit through that. The Jaguars continue to get it done on the ground. 73,000 up, listen. A premonition I had. Typically, that is not during the middle of the day. Typically, that only applies when I am under several different substances. Stone sober, I have one today, and it involved Fred Johnson, the 10th overall free agent signing of this new brass, taking Duval by storm. And I just started wondering, started daydreaming. I was cutting the lawn, and I was thinking about this OL. And in my opinion, the most impressive part of Liam Cohen when he was introduced as the Jaguars' new head coach was his thoughts on the offensive line. It wasn't canned. It wasn't coach speak. It wasn't political sounding. Oh, we got to work hard, you know. We're going to tax the rich. We're going to feed the poor. Well, none of that. No, he pointed out what he saw. And what he saw around here was crap. He saw a soft offensive line. He saw betas, right? He didn't see any alpha dogs. And this is my opinion. This is what I got from the Liam Cohen opening presser. Got the exact same thing from James Gladstone. James took us down a different avenue. He talked about raising the floor. He brought us into the ecosystem, right? But he brought up, once again, the importance of this offensive line. This football team is never going to take the next step until they fix this offensive line and until they are able to protect Trevor Lawrence. So I started kicking this around today. This makes, 4 new OLs out of the 10 that have been added to this roster. And, all of a sudden it becomes a conversation about backup linemen. What does this mean for non-first or second round draft picks around here for the last several years? Well, I'll tell you, it's been a colossal mistake. Luke Fortner, mistake. It appears right now that Javon Foster, a 4th-round pick a year ago, a mistake. Ben Barch, a few years ago, a mistake. Everyone loves Cooper Hodges. He's a 7th-round pick. He's a nice story. He can't get out of the hot tub, okay? You can't rely on Cooper Hodges. You just can't. The guy can't stay healthy. And you put together this offensive line, and then you get to a guy like Walker Little, who's been treated awfully around here. Again, out of the football players that I've seen, the way that they've been treated by a franchise, no one was treated worse, in my opinion, than Walker Little until he signed that contract, which ended up being a really good deal for him, considering he has not produced at the second-round level. He's been injured. He hasn't been able to win a job. And on the flip side, if he does turn out to be something special, then Jacksonville gets him for, dare I say, somewhat of a hometown discount. What if this organization doesn't like Walker Little? What if during collaboration, Baselli, Cohen, Gladstone, they say, he's not a dog. You can't rely on him. He gets hurt. He has no mean streak. He's got 0 nasty. Bulky signed him. It's our problem now. But Bulky signed him. So what are you going to do? Just because you addressed it with 4 offensive linemen in free agency, could they go right back to the well with the 5th pick in the NFL draft? If not, could they address that in round 2 or with one of their 2 picks in round number 3? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I even got to the point where they could be so down on this. I mean, Mitch Morris retired. I don't know the scoop. I'm kind of under the impression that he was told to retire. He did not play well. We don't know that. Out of respect for a 10-year veteran, let him take his walk into the sunset and, you had a great career, end of story. But we don't know. Maybe it was a little bit of respect there by the threesome, and they said, Mitch, you're not part of the plan. You're just not. Do you want to announce your retirement? Or he may have done it on his own. Again, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do think it's fair to speculate. I do think it's fair to say that maybe this new front office has got a little bit of a mean streak. And the fact that they witnessed Baselli from right there, these other 2 from long distance, Tampa and Los Angeles, respectively, a situation where this football team had no leadership a year ago and absolutely accepted losing. It's time to get rid of player after player after player after player. We saw it today. Cam Robinson signed in Houston. We saw it today. Devin Duvernay signed with the Bears. We saw it yesterday. Tim Jones signed with the Vikings. I mean, they're just getting rid of all these players, right? And we don't know all the reasons why. I got to believe some of it, though, is what I just said. Lack of leadership. And again, a comfortable feeling of losing. No one should be comfortable losing. No one. I don't care what it is at this level. Okay? So, they look at this offensive line. They don't like what they see. They've added 2 starters in Hainsley and Makari. We get that. Where does Anton Harrison come into play? Anton Harrison is a first-round draft pick who played all of his college football at left tackle. He has regressed as a right tackle in 2 years in the NFL. Part of my thinking today was, would it be a complete, absolute shock if Anton Harrison was your left tackle in 2025? I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it with your money. But when it's March 19th, you're allowed to think about these things, okay? Jacksonville in the former regime was so ridiculous when it came to drafting people and not playing them at the right position, right? I mean, Cam Robinson was a lord here. He really was. I kid about Lord Favre. If I had done it all over again, I would have named Cam Robinson Lord Robinson because everything was based around Cam, right? Oh, Cam's only played left tackle in high school. Oh, Cam only played left tackle at Alabama. Oh, Cam can only play left tackle here. We saw it. He was selfish. He got popped for 4 games, PEDs. Walker Little plays left tackle for 4 games and is better than Cam Robinson. But Cam comes back. Oh, no, Cam's got to be our left tackle. Let's slide Walker Little over. What did he give you, 11 snaps at left guard? Cam's gone. He's no longer your problem, okay? He's now in Houston, signed there today. All of a sudden, Houston's got Cam Robinson, Christian Kirk, Ronald Darby. I mean, this great rivalry heating up, and I love it. So I just started thinking, could Anton Harrison be a left tackle? Or no? Is that absolutely absurd? He is going to remain your right tackle. Or does he have to earn that right tackle position? Is there any guarantee that it's there for the taking, especially if this football team goes out and addresses the offensive line very early in the NFL draft? I would love to sit here and say this is going to be the best part of camp, and this is going to be so much fun because there's going to be incredible competition. along the offensive line, and then you just got to stop it right there and understand that they don't hit. The days of hitting are done. It's been collectively bargained. You can't wear them down in training camp. So you're really not going to get an opportunity outside of some one-on-one drills, which can be totally, absolutely misleading. I mean, 2 years ago, Devon Hamilton looked like Mean Joe Green. And then when the season began, then the season began and he became Devon Hamilton. He dealt with that back issue 2 years ago. I don't want to dismiss that. That was a problem. Hamilton had another really good camp this year. The whispers around the Miller Electric Center. Have you seen Devon Hamilton? Have you seen Devon Hamilton? Look what he's doing on one-on-one drills. And all of a sudden the regular season begins and it's like, is Devon Hamilton still on the roster? So that can be misleading. But to say that you're so fired up and that you're so excited to watch competition with the offensive line, that's hard because they don't hit the way they once did. And hopefully there's an opponent that Jacksonville can practice with. I hope it's right here with the Miller Electric Center. The facility is the best in the NFL. Should be a selling point for this new organization. Find a team. Tell them to come here. You don't want to go on the road. Okay, you go to London every year. You don't have to go on the road to practice. Come get a team to come here. You got great hotels downtown. You got the best facility in pro football at the Miller Electric Center. Get them to come here. And you can hit for a couple of days then. And then you can certainly figure it out once you get into preseason. But remember last year's preseason. Did Jacksonville face any starting quarterbacks? I think they went, 3-0, 4-0? I don't even remember what the preseason situation was. Every game they played, they won. But it was obscure because we're not, with a 17-game schedule and 3 preseason games, it's not law like it once was, where there was a system in place with 16 games and 4 preseason games where you knew exactly what the temperature was going to be with every team, how the style and what you do with starters, what you do with quarterbacks. That has changed as the league continues to evolve, bringing in the new 3 games in preseason. So, my point really is, I don't think you're going to know until September. I don't think you're going to know until you really get into your schedule, and then you're able to find out who are your best 5. But I'm fascinated by this. I've always been an offensive line guy. I've been yelling about building the wall of Duval forever. I would not bet on this. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. But you can give it a thought here tonight. I mean, you absolutely can. I look at Chris Trapaso's mock draft that came out today, CBS Sports, and it was a 3-round mock, and I liked it. He had Jacksonville at number 5 taking Will Campbell. Okay? If the Jaguars do that at 5, I will be thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And I know night after night we get into it, and you tell me it's defense. I get it. I understand your thought process on that. Mine is different. Mine is there for this simple reason. You got to find out where Trevor Lawrence is, where you can take this man. You need the best offensive line, and you need weaponry to his left and right. I love the Will Campbell draft pick at number 5. What if Will Campbell came in? Short arms. Well, bulky's gone. James Gladstone may think, hey, all right, he's got short arms. You know what? He can play right tackle. Anton Harrison can play left tackle. Or maybe it's Will Campbell. He can play. He is the left tackle, right? I mean, he's done different things, inside, outside, primarily outside as of late in his career. But anyway, I had that today. It took the former Gator and Fred Johnson. It took a 1-year deal with him coming here, 6 starts a season ago, to really get that ball kind of moving through my mind earlier this afternoon. The point I'm trying to make, I'm not convinced right here, right now, that left to right, it's Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsley, Patrick McCarry, and Anton Harrison. The betting odds would say, take it. That's your starting five. And that's the way it's going to be. I'm not 100% sold on that. I still think there's an opportunity for addition, and I still think there's an opportunity for some possible movement. 641-1010 if you'd like to get on. And my goodness, man, just to be relevant. You Jaguar fans, every day you got a little something to chew on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's encouraging. It's got to give you a sense of excitement that a day doesn't go by where there isn't at least something that you can talk about. And again, is this I'll use a draft term. Is this a reach? Is this a boy, Ballou? You really didn't put a lot of thought into that, did you? Are you struggling for something to talk about here tonight? No, it's never that for me. This is a serious idea. Now, Baselli, Cohen, and Gladstone may hear it or hear of it secondhand, whatever, say, that's foolish. He didn't know what he's talking about. Walker Little's our left tackle. End of story. Patrick McCarry's our right guard. End of story. Anton Harrison's the right tackle. End of story. Very easily could be the case. But anyway, thought I'd open things up and share that with you as we get things moving right here on a Wednesday edition. Always brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. I got another eye appointment coming up. I think it's in early May, and we'll see if my eyes do change. They haven't the last couple of times, and that's nice in itself. I mean, you may get double vision. You may find out at this time of day your eyes fatigue is set in compared to when you got up earlier this morning. It's normal the older that we get, so why not just make an appointment today at Shmunez Vision and get your vision checked? And then there's so many opportunities out there for you, including laser eye surgery. 2020 for the rest of your life. Never having to fumble around looking for your readers, never falling asleep with your contacts in, then you get out of bed and take them out. 2020. Every single day. Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt. Just one of the many things that they are able to provide with their practice. Want you to check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram. Get everything there as far as the latest testimonials, if you will, from Shmunez Vision. Go ahead and check them out. All right, we're so busy tonight. This is going to be a great night. And it is going to include the unveiling of the brackets. And I did a lot of chalk. I did. But I look at it, and I think for the most part, it's a pretty good bracket. That's the way I feel right now. We saw a thriller a night ago, absolutely, in that St. Francis, Alabama State game. We have two more coming up tonight, and then, of course, Thursday and Friday, 16 games apiece. Hey, tomorrow we'll be live at Mr. Chubby's off of Chaffee Road and I-10. So way out on the west side. Haven't been out there in a couple of years. Looking forward to seeing all you folks out there at Mr. Chubby's. And then on Friday, we'll be at Top Dog right there in Bartram Park. So that's our schedule for the rest of the week. But we got tonight. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That is the best way to get us on our text line. Let's get things rolling right here on a Wednesday edition of Into the Night.
Something's coming on with the computer.
Are you receiving my signal?
Speak into the microphone, Squid Brain.
He says he's found the main controls to the power beam here.
XL.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow. I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but...
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it. They do it, whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, World Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, ton of response coming in on the text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Hello as well to all you watching us tonight on YouTube. You can get us there, 1010XL Into the Night. And, of course, Twitter. You can get us there and see what is going on. Just go to 1010XL.com. All right, I'm honored to be a part of this huge event coming up, final day of March. I hope you'll join me, some former NFL players. The event is the 2025 Champions of Hope charity golf and tennis challenge. And, of course, I'm all about the golf. I'll be participating in this, and it's set up by the Lone Warrior Foundation. It's March 31st at Marsh Landing, and we'll tee off at 9. We can register as early as 7:30. It's going to be a phenomenal day. Wait till you see the prizes that are available. But more importantly, we'll bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of the families who have been affected when it comes to single parents in their fight against cancer. So it's an enormous cause, and I really believe in this event, in this charity. I hope you'll sign up and join us. The website is just tremendous. Everything is explained to you, whether you want to be a big-time sponsor with a foursome that provides all sorts of different opportunities. Maybe you want to sponsor a whole. Single golfers, absolutely. If you just want to donate in general, you can. But we're hoping to get some more foursomes. So go to Lone Warrior Foundation. That's Lone Warrior Foundation.com, and it's going to be a great day. I know that Aaron Beasley and Marcus Stroud, after the round, they're going to hang out and putt. And if you want to talk with two of the really defensive greats who have ever played for the Jaguars, snap a photo or just say hello. They're going to be there for it, and it's going to be a great day for an outstanding cause. Matter of fact, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to have a couple of really good folks come here and tell us more about it. But in the meantime, I'd love for you to be a part of this on March 31st at Marsh Landing. It is the Lone Warrior Foundation.com. All right, Dylan, is that offensive line set? Am I thinking way out of bounds here in the first 20 minutes?
I feel like they're bringing in a lot of guys to compete for positions. And I don't even think that Liam Cohen and the staff know exactly what, who's going to fit where exactly. That's just me.
And didn't we learn something last week when we were all under the assumption that Jarian Jones was locked in as the slot corner? He was your nickel guy. And then the first move they make, they bring in Jordan Lewis, who has spent 8 years as a slot corner. And you're like, wait a minute. There's so many other positions of need with this franchise. Why would they go out and bring a slot corner? And a week ago tonight, John Oehser, who will join us at 7 o'clock, really talked to us about earning that job. I got to believe the same thing applies here with the offensive line.
Yeah, and it still doesn't mean that, even though they got 10 free agents, I still don't think that, they've penciled and scratched off a position where even, at number 5 in the draft, where you still can't draft an offensive lineman or still can't get a corner.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is still open on the table. They obviously didn't make a big splash. They still can make some moves. They can obviously trade back and acquire more draft picks. So, I mean, the table's still open for everything.
A lot of guesswork with these mock drafts, and so many people have them, and there are those that I think you perhaps lean on a little bit more than some others. This one today with CBS Sports, though, really threw me a curveball. Chris Trapasso had Jacksonville with the 5th overall pick getting Will Campbell. I love that. I know how you feel out there, okay? I'm in the minority with an offensive lineman, but I'm just telling you, I love it. And then, man, does he really shake things up. He has Jacksonville moving up to number 20 in the first round and going out to Oregon to get a defensive lineman in Derek Harmon, so addressing the offensive and defensive line in the first round. What's scary here is in order to move up to number 20, he has Jacksonville giving away their second-round pick, which is selection number 36, and giving away the 70th pick and the 88th pick. That's too much capital for me. I mean, I think that's 3 starters, not this year, 3 eventual starters. With this wave of free agency, which is now up to 10 after getting Fred Johnson today, you could probably make the case that you added 4 to 5 starters, right? And there are certain situations, like if you started the game in double tight, then one of those tight ends is going to be on the opposite side of Brenton Strange, right? So there's ways that you can, kind of skew the numbers. But basically 4 to 5 starters out of the 10 free agents. You and I know right now that number 5 and number 36, they have to be starters. They have to be. This year, there's still too many holes. You still need a number 2 wide receiver. You still need a defensive tackle. You still need at least one guy in your secondary. I would imagine others like, no, Jarian Jones will be fine on the other side of Tyson Campbell. Jones played on the outside at Florida State. I don't know. Who's the second safety going to be? So, yeah. I mean, they may end up getting 3 starters out of this rookie draft class. But I would expect week 1, you're with a minimum, you're bringing in 2. That is the way I'm looking at it. 08882 says, Ballou, that's a contradiction, right? You said Little has been mistreated here and hasn't been productive, and he has been out because of injuries. No, it's not a contradiction. He never should have been removed from the left tackle position. He was the best offensive lineman 2 years ago, the first 4 games of the year. He graded that way with Pro Football Focus, and the eye test supported it. Dumb coaching move by Phil Rauscher. Dumb coaching move by Doug Peterson. Walker Little was the best offensive lineman the first 4 games of the year, and when Cam Robinson came back, it was like it was the return of Michael Jordan. Oh, my God. Just slide Walker down. We got to put Cam back at left tackle. Cam was making $19 million more a year than Walker Little. $19 million. And I don't think he was as good. So I don't think it's a contradiction. You may. 27-17, but what if Campbell took the left guard spot from Ezra? Absolutely. All right. 2 weeks ago, talked about being totally unacceptable. The interior offensive line. The combination of Cleveland, Morse, and Sheriff. Well, Morse is gone. Sheriff is gone. Cleveland's hanging on right now. Okay? There are some grades that support him as a good football player. There are others where he is average as the day is long. A left guard at number 5 is not going to excite hardly anyone in this city. I get it. But I think the way that you're looking at this football team, the way that they're looking at this football team. I mean, it came out today. The Jaguars are 45-1 to win the AFC. Right? Out of 16 teams, they were 14th. This franchise is a bottom feeder right now. Not only in the NFL, they're a bottom feeder in the AFC. They're not going to turn things around immediately and become a perennial playoff team this year. Okay? They're going to be much better. Instead of losing 10 games by 1 possession, hopefully they're able to win half of those games. If you win half of those games, you then win 9 as opposed to 4. I think that you as a fan are aware of this and that it's not going to be totally changed overnight. This is not a rebuild because you do have some really good football players on this roster. A rebuild was with Mike Mularkey. A rebuild was year 1 with Gus Bradley. That was a terrible football team with no quarterback. This football team has some good players. But you hear what they say about raising the floor. Brother, they are just canceling the bottom of this roster. They're just sending people out of here. They're not re-signing any of their free agents outside of Cole Van Landen, who they tendered as a restricted free agent. That's it. Everyone else is gone. And look at the players that they have released. So I think objectively, when they're looking at this roster, they're saying, what in the hell did Trent Baalke do? What did this former regime do? I mean, you got to get rid of player after player after player after player. And winning it getting deep into it in a year could happen, but the chances of that happening are slim and none. That's why if you can go out and just make you a better football team, 1 through 53, and with some solid draft selections, then maybe that is their thinking. So, yeah, left guard wouldn't fire up anyone, but maybe that is where they go. I do not know. We have 36 more days, though, to talk about this. Okay, much more to do, and that's going to include your comments. Best way to join us, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube tonight, 1010XL into the night.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Haymaker Coffee is a local coffee brand to help fuel your daily grind. Why Haymaker? It's fuel for the morning hustle, the late night, and every step of the way. Bold flavors for the bold city. Online at haymakercoffeeco.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
It's a new year with new goals, but let's face it, not all resolutions are easy to keep. Maybe you promised yourself you'd eat healthier, but pizza still seems like a better idea. Or you said you'd read more, but your favorite show just launched a new season. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, we can help you keep your New Year's resolution. We offer the biggest selection, best prices, and the easiest car buying experience. Let's make a resolution to visit Beaver Toyota or Beaver Chevrolet, where we'll wow you with a new ride for the new year.
E.T. here, and spring in Clay County means one thing, the award-winning Clay County Fair. It's more than just rides and a concert, it's an experience. Savor the flavors of classic fair treats, explore family-friendly attractions, and enjoy a perfect mix of small-town charm and big-time fun. Plan your trip with Explore Clay County Tourism and turn your visit into a getaway. Find the best places to stay, eat, and explore at exploreclay.com. And don't forget to share your fair adventures with #ExploreClay.
Plumbing problem? AC not blowing cool? Septic tank backing up? No need to call 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. At Duck Duck Rooter, we do it all. Plumbing, septic, and air conditioning with expert technicians in each department. One company, one call, one easy bill. No hassle, no runaround, just fast professional service from highly skilled techs who know their stuff. Need help? Call 904-862-6769 today and let Duck Duck Rooter handle it all. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 20th, 2020, after 20 years with the New England Patriots, quarterback Tom Brady agrees to move to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 2-year, $50 million guaranteed deal.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase now through March.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards. And it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Listen up, poker players. March is heating up at all 3 Best Bet locations. The Bad Beat jackpots are now uncapped, soaring to new heights. So don't miss your chance to win big. Plus, get in on the $42,000 weekend windfall, featuring $1,000 high hands every Friday and $500 high hands on Saturdays. And starting March 3rd, the Race to a Race promotion is back. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, much more Jaguars coming up. John Oehser joins us at 7 o'clock. Of course, he does each and every Wednesday, the senior writer at Jaguars.com. I've been talking about a huge event coming up here 2 weeks from Monday. Actually, it is a week from Monday. It'll be the final day of March. It is March 31st at Marsh Landing, and I became a part of this only because I believe in what they are doing. It is sensational. It's the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge supporting single-parent families in their fight against cancer. Just imagine that, being a single parent, and that happens and just how difficult it is. So we've got some solid representation in here to tell us all about this golf and tennis tournament. Stephen Highfill, I've known for a while, is a benefactor. Rob Chumbook is the founder and president as well of the Lone Warrior Foundation. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on by.
Thanks for having us, Rick.
Thank you very much for having us, Rick. Appreciate it.
First things, Rob, tell us about putting this together. How long has it been, and what gave you this great idea for such a tremendous cause?
The foundation was started in 2022. This was born out of my dealing with stage 4 prostate cancer in 2015. I was diagnosed with metastatic stage 4 cancer. I had multiple tumors back in 2015, and I said, I want to do something to change the world before I go. The timing wasn't right, so nothing really occurred until 2022. At that time, I said, you know what? My health was having some challenges and some issues, and I said, you know what? It's time to do it. So we launched in 2022. So we're a very young nonprofit, which makes it difficult and challenging because in the nonprofit space, unless you've been around for 5 or 6 years, the large corporations can't support you. So you have to go to smaller businesses and smaller benefactors. Fortunately, Stephen is one of those who stood up and supported us because he believes in what we're doing. Of the 1.6 million nonprofits in the United States, we are the only one currently that specifically financially assists single parents with cancer and their families.
Wow.
So what we do is we pay them $500 a month for 4 months while they are in active treatment. We go through a screening process. We get our recipients from Mayo, MD Anderson, Cancer Centers of North Florida. And then what happens is we sit down with them and we spend some time getting to know them. And then they become part of our family. And that's really what the community is. It's a family. And our goal is to make sure that they're not alone as they go through this crisis. Because I was a single parent and went through it. I was raising my daughter by myself. And when the cancer hit me, and I just don't want anybody else to have to go through that alone by themselves and face such a daunting task as terminal cancer.
Yeah, and this really hits me. When I met my girlfriend 17 years ago, she was a single parent going through cancer as well, and I saw the tail end of it and her get healthy after the fact, but I know how difficult it is. By the way, go to Lone Warrior Foundation to get all the details for this event coming up on March 31st. Lone Warrior Foundation.com. Stephen, you and I have spoken about this as well. You do a lot of outstanding things here in Jacksonville. You've been here forever, but this to you means an awful lot as well.
Yes, it does. Primarily because I had my own battle with cancer in 2020, 2021. I was diagnosed with large B-cell lymphoma, and I I was able to get the treatment and go through that treatment, but it was a 15-month battle.
Right.
And I call it, instead of cancer survivor, cancer conqueror.
Yeah.
And we conquered it. Yeah. And but when I met Rob and he told me what he was doing for single parents, and I met some of the recipients and heard their testimonies, it just blew me away. And what I really heard more than anything was the how much, not just the financial assistance meant to them, but the feel of having someone else there. Right. I'm not alone. The camaraderie, the ability to be there to just give them something like a ride or be a companion to the treatment or something like that. So hearing that testimony from the single parents, and most of them were female single parent mothers with multiple kids and just no support.
Yeah.
So it really hit home for me. I understood what they were going through, and I couldn't imagine doing that as a single parent myself. So it was a cause that I wanted to make sure I was able to come in and support.
Rob, we have a great golf listening audience. This is a great golf city. Tell us about this event. It's March 31st. It'll be at Marsh Landing. We'll have a shotgun at 9 a.m. Registration begins at 7:30 in the morning. But tell us about this event.
It's really exciting. This is our second event. We had our first one at Queens Harbor, and it was a great success. And so we said, we want to have a second event. And what's unique about it is we're combining both a golf tournament and a tennis tournament at the same time, which is very unique to the Beaches, country club community, which is unusual to say the least. And what we've done is we've got Nimnitz, which is obviously a supporter of your radio, and they've submitted a $100,000 EV truck for a hole-in-one. Stephen has gotten us a golf cart also, so that's for another hole-in-one. We're up to about 80 players right now, which is exciting. We've got about 45 players for the women right now, and so we still have some spaces available. We're shooting for about 100 for golfers and about 50 for the women, which would be just a perfect mix. What we're going to do is have, like you said, the shotgun start, and then we're going to bring everybody together after the event, which I think will be great. There'll be some community where people will get a chance to meet some of the recipients. We're going to have a silent auction. We're going to have a live auction. We're going to have a barbecue buffet for everybody. It's going to be quite an event. And so.
Yeah, and it's March 31st at Marsh Landing. Again, go to Lone Warrior Foundation for all of the details. Lone Warrior Foundation. Stephen, just a foursome, individual golfers. If you're a business, an opportunity to sponsor a hole. What am I missing as well that folks out there can do?
I think we still have a couple of the larger sponsorships, but for the players and those that sign up, especially for the foursomes, I believe you get a whole sponsorship with the foursome and get a little bit of coverage there. But the prizes are amazing. I've been on a lot of golf tournaments and put some on for nonprofits before, and we have prizes and double prizes on virtually every par three, and some really big prizes on those. We're going to have a putting contest. Yeah. And we're going to have one hole-in-one contest for a cash prize. So it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
If you like golf and you want to meet some former Jaguars and some radio personalities like yourself, and have some camaraderie with some other people and meet the recipients. I think when you meet these recipients, you understand what we're doing.
Yeah, and that is always rewarding. I don't think there's any question about it. The Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. And again, it'll get underway on March 31st. So you still have plenty of time. Today's what, the 19th? It is a week from Monday. All right, we got a few minutes left. Rob, I'll begin with you. Anything that I missed that you want to share right now with our listeners about this huge event?
This is about community. What distinguishes the foundation, I believe, it's about community and bringing people together to support a cause that is one of a kind. And that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
You want to be part of something in a community where you can make a difference, where you're involved with the recipients, where it's hands-on, where you're connected, where you're part of it, and you can see the results. It's a very fulfilling journey that people can be part of. And so we're looking for individuals to join our family because it's really a family and it's a community that supports these families as they go through this traumatic time in their lives.
And we still have room for foursomes as well. You said about 80, but absolutely room for more foursomes.
Yes, sir. We can go up to 120 is what the course will handle. So we have 40 spaces available.
All right, let's go to Lone Warrior Foundation for all the details. Lone Warrior warriorfoundation.com. Steven, anything I missed that Rob didn't say?
I just wanted to point out that this is an important fundraiser for us because the wait list for the recipients has continued to grow. And we would like to be able to get those recipients that are on the wait list into the programs.
Yeah.
The demand is so high right now that we have 10 families sitting waiting for help.
Oh, boy.
And it just breaks my heart being an actual, individual that went through this myself, and for us not to be able to provide them with the assistance at such a traumatic time to support their families really weighs heavy on myself. So this is a tremendous opportunity for us to make a difference for those single families that are out there right now.
Jacksonville steps up, and they do it quite a bit. And tell you what, I'm honored to be the smallest part of this, but really want to commend you two for giving back after both going through cancer. An outstanding thing you're doing, and I know it's appreciated by a lot of our listeners.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate you having us.
There he goes. Yeah, Rob Chumbrook is the founder and president of the Lone Warrior Foundation, and Stephen Highfill as well in town is a benefactor. Once again, the event is coming up on March 31st at Marsh Landing. It'll be a 9 o'clock shotgun. You can register at 7:30 in the morning, and the best bet is just go to lonewarriorfoundation.com, lonewarriorfoundation.com. It's great to have you two with us again. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Time, Rick. Thank you.
Yes, let's get ready for hour number 2. Let's get back to the Jaguars. Standing by is our friend John Oehser, senior writer, Jaguars.com.
Frank! Okay, here we go. Automatic pilot.
Frank Franchi.
It is not automatic piloting.
He doesn't operate at hyperspeed.
I can really use a steering wheel here.
We don't have no damn steering wheel. This is what we got.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Neck pain, back pain, or headache, Shinatri Chiropractic has 4 locations: Westside, 103rd, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Spring pickleball, tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? Hurry, time is running out. March is almost over. You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Sign up at sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Miller Lite for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. The overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the free beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks, and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
You are in for a treat on Saturday, March 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. at Tobacco Cove.
where the smoke is rich and the deals are hotter than a lit cigar. It's time for the La Aroma de Cuba cigar event. With great cigars, mouth-watering food, and awesome prizes. What more could you want? Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. In the past 10 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting, and still, Awaken 180 continues to stand alone as the proven solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
This free agency profile is covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. Experience the universal difference.
The Rams to Jags connection continues with the signing of tight end Hunter Long. Jacksonville's new GM James Gladstone witnessed his potential last season when he flashed as a backup to Colby Parkinson. Adding Long to the mix brings depth to the passing game and another target for Trevor Lawrence to put more teal and black in the back of the end zone.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Oehser. Oh No's.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Someone the other day sent me some video of John Oehser getting down to this some 25 years ago. That is not a fib. That is a true story. He joins us Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. Hello, John.
Oh, I believe that. Sure, I believe that.
Gainesville, Florida, right? Was it Balls, Purple Porpoise? Which one was it?
Back in the day, I was actually really young in college, Rick, so I didn't – buddies of mine went to the Porpoise a lot.
Right.
I was more of a try to figure out a way to get in guy. So, and I usually did. I mean, I'm not saying that I never had opportunity, but I was not in bars a whole lot in Gainesville.
Oh, okay. Well, where I come from, you know, we were kind of underground. I had a Rhode Island one that was absolutely spectacular. I mean, what bartender or bouncer was ever going to argue with a Rhode Island fake
That's
ID?
fair. Yeah, it's fair. I had a fake ID, but it was horribly ineffective, I would call it.
I think they're impossible now. I really haven't checked much on it, but from what I understand, it's really hard to come up with a fake ID these days.
Yeah, the best fake ID joke was in 16 Candles when the nerd said he got it so he could vote.
Long Duck Long from
That's right.
from 16.
Fantastic movie.
No doubt about it. All right, John, the 10th free agent signed today as well out of Gainesville, Fred Johnson. 6 starts a year ago. This becomes the 4th offensive lineman that the new brass was brought in.
Yeah, I think clearly they're doing a couple of things. Offensive line, you need guys, and you need to sort of stockpile guys, because if you start getting guys hurt during the season, you've got to have, you know, your Blake Hance level guy. You're going back to last season when Blake Hance, Cole Van Lannon weren't necessarily guys we all talked about in April, but you have to have guys who are available that maybe don't even play. But if you need them in November, it's harder to find the big guys than it is to go find a guy off the street. Easier for a wide receiver to do that, I think, in an absolute emergency. Plus, the offensive line wasn't good enough last year. So you're bringing in 4 guys already. You're also, I still believe they're going to draft a guy early. Hey, Ezra, Walker Little. You got to be good. Don't be comfortable. So this is clearly a deal where you have to earn a spot around here unless your name is, and there's nobody to fill in that blank. You're going to have to earn spots.
You said that last week, and it really got to me with Jarian Jones and the newly acquired Jordan Lewis. You talk about earning a spot, and it feels like that is the message that is being sent by the new regime. I'm glad you mentioned Walker Little and Ezra Cleveland, because I think just to assume left to right, Little, Cleveland, Hainsley, McCarty, Harrison, that's a done deal would be foolish. I think there'll be competition, and I think there is a chance that they add another offensive lineman early in this year's draft.
I'd be really surprised if they don't draft it somewhere in that first, 4 rounds, because offensive linemen, realistically, they're rookie offensive linemen. You trust second-year offensive linemen, and you want those guys to be up and ready to go. So as you move forward with this, you need to draft a guy in the 3rd round if you expect him to be good in 2026, because you usually don't expect 3rd rounders to be good immediately. And I didn't say that very well, but if you're developing offensive linemen, you got to draft some to do it. So I think they will do that. And to answer the original point of your question, look, if I was betting on this right now, I would bet Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Anton Harrison all start, because they're the leaders in the clubhouse, the cap and all that. But would it shock me? I mean, if Ezra Cleveland or Walker Little got beat out by somebody who's here, it would surprise me. But it's on the table, because Liam Cohn in the intro presser, it was the one position where he said, yeah, I think everybody knows we got to get better there. Well, in order to get better, you got to shake it up. Walker Little has competed twice around here for the job, and he has been the backup going into the season. So I think they want him to show. They want Ezra Cleveland to show. They want everybody to show that the offensive line is going to be better and different than it was. And I wasn't trying to single out Walker there, but everybody's got to be better. The team went 4-13 last year.
Right. No doubt about that. John Oehser, our guest, joins us each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Of course, he is the senior writer at Jaguars.com. To me, that was the best part of both, introductions, their press conferences separately with Liam Cohen and James Gladstone, just how openly they were about the offensive line in general. And to me, that was the best part. Okay, Walker Little was not this Brass's signing. That was a Trent Baalke signing. All right, let me ask you this. Is this crazy? Am I way out of bounds here? Or would it shock you if all of a sudden we learned that Anton Harrison is getting an opportunity at left tackle?
I hadn't really thought about that. I guess it wouldn't shock me because it feels like everything's on the table. They haven't even worked with these guys yet. So as they're looking at film, would they look at something and say, hey, we need to try this over here? I think everything's possible. I don't necessarily think that's the way they start out. I know the last regime thought that Anton could certainly play left tackle. But I think Anton as well, he's obviously good, obviously a draft pick, but they all have to play better. They have to be more complete. They have to prove they're a unit. So I'm not trying to talk around the question. I think anything's possible, but it doesn't feel like that's what they're leaning toward. If that makes any sense.
Oh. And listen, you and I know Tony Baselli very well. We covered him from the time that he was a rookie on. I really got to believe that Tony has extra say when it comes to this position. I mean, or position group. It's been years that people have speculated, why isn't Baselli involved? He's a student of the game. He's very intense, especially when it comes to the offensive line. I know there will be times he'll share his opinion with us, but I'd love to know what he's thinking right now about this 5.
Well, I know he likes it. I know he felt about last year's group that had to get better. Tony's not in there telling James Gladstone what he has to do on the offensive line. That's not the dynamic. But James Gladstone is certainly smart enough to know that Tony knows offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I think the overall tone is where Tony has the effect, right, of always reminding, hey, this group wasn't dominant enough as run blockers. This group didn't have nastiness last year. The tone of the organization in meetings, I think if there's a discussion going on, Tony's always going to kind of stick in there and say, hey, remember we have to be nasty now, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, so setting the culture and setting the tone, but I know he certainly believes they're a better offensive line group than they were 10 days ago. And I think it more goes toward the group is leaning toward what he likes about offensive line play, which is nastiness, finishing blocks. I said it last week, I think. I don't know that in terms of if you're grading at PFF, if the group's going to be dramatically better as a PFF grade. But I think as an overall unit, being nasty, finishing, being better on 3rd and 1, fitting into what their identity is going to be, I think they love where this group's going compared to last year.
Last question on this, but this is always my favorite thing to talk about. To me, it always begins with a great offensive line. If you have a great offensive line, you are automatically that much better of a football team. I love what Liam Cohen said when he was introduced, talking about the scheme they were running in Tampa, but they didn't hit. Then he was forced to change once they really got into the season. When you start talking about competition, to me, this is going to be fascinating because we'll see some one-on-one situations at the Miller Electric Center. But for the most part, doesn't it come down to who they practice with and games? And you can't always tell with the 3 preseason games because look at last year. I don't think Jacksonville took on starting defenses in any one of their 3 preseason games.
Yeah, and I think the gist of what we're talking about here, I was really interested with what Robert Hainsey had to say about it. Liam had talked about it, and then Hainsey couldn't wait to get to this point on the podium when he talked Thursday of, hey, we went into the season not expecting to run a whole lot of gap. I think I'm getting this right. But he said, they weren't expecting to run a certain kind of way offensively. And once they got into the season, they realized they were better running a certain scheme. And they switched to it, and they were better. They adapted. They figured out what these guys were good at, and they went in that direction. That's pretty high-end stuff for a coordinator to say, hey, you know what I thought wasn't working. Mm-hmm. What are you guys good at? It will be interesting to see as they go, and that's what Hainsey talked about. He's willing to throw out the window if it's not working and go a different direction. So that's, again, pretty high-end stuff, and I'm anxious to see how they go with it.
Let's wrap it up with this, John. I think it was Monday that it was reported that T-Mac, the very talented wide receiver, Ted McMillan out of Arizona, ran a 4.48, and then other reports came in anywhere from a 4.52 to a 4.63, which changes things dramatically. What have you made about the 40 time and the possibility of Jacksonville taking him? 5 still feels like a little bit of a reach, but maybe if they traded down in the first round.
Yeah, I do not think that wide receiver's off the table at all at 5. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really had a chance to sort of talk to anybody about his specific time, how that would affect. There's a feeling that he's a big-time player, and that might be a place where they truly test the measurables versus performance part, which this regime is much more into performance than some specific measurables. So I think some of that, Rick, the 40 time to me feels like something that there's so much GPS data available for college guys now. Do they run fast on the field? Might bring a little more into play whether they get drafted around here or not, as opposed to where they run fast at the combine.
Yeah.
But it would not surprise me at all to see them take a wide receiver that high. And a final thing that you didn't ask about, Trayvon Walker ain't going anywhere. It's been on Twitter. There's been buzz on Twitter about a trade.
Okay.
Trayvon Walker's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know where I saw that. I read it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I've been asked enough that, it's much like the Trevor Lawrence thing. I guess you're getting a lot of buzz about stuff. Trayvon Walker, they're not trying to get worse around here. They're trying to get better. Trading him makes you worse.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right. Hey, John, always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
There he goes. John Oehser, ladies and gentlemen, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Yeah, I don't know where I read that. Somewhere today or yesterday that Trayvon could be moved. I also read about blowing up the running back, the running back position, moving Travis Etienne, going back, to the well and drafting. Liam Cohen with Bucky Irvin found a 4th rounder a year ago, and look at what he did. I expect him to get a back, but around then, in the 4th round, I think you've got 2 backs right now that you can trust. And we don't know anything about Keelan Robinson. We don't know anything about the rookie. I just think there's other positions of need right now on this roster that absolutely has to be addressed. But you're not going to get value in return for Travis Etienne. You're not going to get value in return for Devin Lloyd. What you're doing is you're giving up on him. What you're saying is that you're not part of our future. I don't think Etienne should be a part of the future simply because I don't trust running backs. And that becomes 5 years. He missed his rookie season. You get 4 years out of him. It's time to move on, right? Devin Lloyd has just been lost around here. He's a good football player. He's not a great football player. And I'd be very surprised, not very surprised, but I would be surprised if they elect to pick up his 5th year team-only option. You got to have that in by May 1st. I fully expect them to do that on Trayvon Walker. That's going to be another decision. What are you going to do with Walker? What are you going to pay this guy? They just paid Hines Allen. I mean, can you get him around the Josh Sweat type of deal? I'm not going to compare him to Max Crosby. I'm not going to compare him to Myles Garrett. But his agency is going to start there when you're looking at the numbers. I mean, they are. That's the way it goes. So I wouldn't be in a hurry there. I'd play him this year. Yeah, I don't know if he's a threat to hold out. I'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know Trayvon Walker well. I cover him, get an opportunity to talk to him as a member of the media. But I will tell you that I would be very surprised if we found out that he wasn't showing up because he's unhappy with his contract. That he just doesn't, to me, fit in that category. Just my way of looking at it. So that is the very latest there. All right, let's get you involved with the show. And we also got to give our brackets. Have you filled yours out yet, Dylan?
I filled out 2. One Sunday night, and I did one Monday morning.
All right, let's come back. Let's do a little bit of Jaguars, get some response from you because we've done a lot on them tonight. And then let's go through it. We won't waste any time. We'll just pick team after team after team after team and get you down to who we think is going to win the national championship. I'll tell you tomorrow night, West Side. Oh, yeah, we are there. Mr. Chubby, 6 to 8. right off of Chaffee Road and I-10. We'll be out there 6 to 8, and then Friday we'll be at Top Dog in Bartram Park. So out there 6 to 8. And Hacker to follow on both nights. He'll be out there from 8 until 10. Much more to do tonight with you till 8.
Catch the draft and accelerate to the checkered flag.
To the checkered flag.
Hey, Sunday at Miami. NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, and it's finally here. You've got your bracket. Now you've got to head to hardrock.bet and check out all the big games. This is it. March is all about underdogs, buzzer beaters, unforgettable moments. Hard Rock Bet keeps the action going with promos, booths, and more all tournament long. Don't miss out. Be ready for tip-off. Download the Hard Rock app now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Call the deck guys if you want a brand new deck pavers or more. Call 904-813-2474.
TheDeckGuysJacks.com.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 19, 1989, at the PGA Players Championships, Tom Kite wins the title in windy conditions, 1 stroke ahead of runner-up Chip Beck.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have 2 choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple build. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single, seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, going to make our bracket selections here in just a couple of minutes. Let's get through a couple of these texts, though, from Jaguar fans. 3600 says, Ballou, I hate that you have so much hate for Cam Robinson. I have no hate for Cam Robinson. I have no hate for anyone. I just thought he was very overrated. Really no other way for me to describe that. 49-79, Jags take a center in the third to back up Hainsey and eventually replace him. Well, he's making $21 million over 3. They hope that he is going to be there at least for a little bit of time. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Get a bunch of fake ID stuff that's coming in. Doesn't apply to you, Dylan, right? What are you, 26, 27, something
27.
Like that?
No. Never had one.
Mm-hmm. You're not a rule breaker. You're an honest guy.
Yeah, I'm a law-abiding citizen.
There was a couple others that I wanted to. 89-63, but Gabe Davis may never touch the field. I just take the penalty and let it ride with what we have. Boy, that dead cap figure for Gabe Davis right now is $20,300,000. Let me see what it is post-June 1st. Post-June 1st is, it's $5 million. Is that right? $5,700,000 for dead money. You'd only save $721,000. Boy, that changes quite a bit the way that contract is written, because if you look at Gabe Davis now, his cap number is only $6.4 million, but again, the dead money is $20.3 million, and it says you bring back 13.8. I don't know how that comes into play. Again, I don't understand the way that these contracts are written. I'm trusting overthecap.com here with those figures. Could be different on Spot Track. All right, let's do it. Let's make some of our picks. Let's do it. Let's go. We'll go right down the way that it reads on the sheet, left to right. I have Auburn, Creighton, Michigan, Texas A&M, Mississippi, Iowa State, Marquette, Michigan State, Florida, Oklahoma, Memphis, Maryland, Missouri, Texas Tech, Kansas, and St. John's. How about you?
Auburn, Louisville, got the 12th seed, UC right. San Diego, A&M, Ole Miss, Iowa State, New Mexico, Michigan State, Florida, UConn, Colorado State, who's the favorite actually, a 12th seed over 5, Maryland, Missouri, Texas Tech, Kansas, and St. John.
I think you had 7 different than I had in the very first round.
Yeah, I had about the same. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Let's go to the right side. I have Duke, Mississippi State, Oregon, Arizona, BYU, Wisconsin, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Houston, Gonzaga, Clemson, Purdue, Illinois, Kentucky, UCLA, Tennessee.
I went Duke, Baylor, Liberty, Arizona, BYU, Wisconsin, St. Mary, Alabama, and in the Midwest region, I went Houston, Gonzaga, Clemson, Purdue, Illinois, Kentucky, UCLA, Tennessee.
All right. So you and I think there's 10 or 11 different ones right there in the first round. I'll let you go next. Second round, begin with the Auburn bracket and make your way down the entire side.
All right. I got Auburn in this advancing, UC San Diego, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, St. John's.
So I'm going to have three different from you. I'm going Auburn in Michigan, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida against Memphis, and Texas Tech against St. John's.
All right. I got on the other side of the bracket, I'll go Duke, Arizona, BYU, Alabama, Houston, Clemson, Kentucky, Tennessee.
All right, I'm with you on 7 of those 8. Duke, Arizona, BYU against Bama, Houston against Purdue, Kentucky against Tennessee. Let's get to the Elite 8. I'm taking Auburn over Michigan. I'm taking Michigan State over Iowa State. I'm taking Florida over Memphis. I'm taking St. John's over Texas Tech.
Yeah, my Elite 8's Auburn, Michigan State in the South region, the West region, Florida, St. John.
Right side of the bracket to the Elite 8. I am going Duke over Arizona. I'm taking Alabama over BYU. Give me Houston over Purdue, and I'll take Tennessee over Kentucky.
Yeah, we got the same. Duke, Alabama, Houston, Tennessee.
All right, take us to the Final Four.
Final Four, I got Michigan State with an upset over Auburn, and then I have Florida beating St. John.
I have Michigan State over Auburn, and I have Florida over St. John's. To the right side of the bracket.
And then I have Duke beating Alabama, Houston beating Tennessee. So I got 3 1 seeds in the Final Four. I thought about 4, but I was like, it never happened. So Auburn was the team I chose that's going to lose.
All right. I did the exact same. I have Duke and Houston. Duke knocking off Alabama. I have Houston knocking off Tennessee. So we get to the national title game. I am taking Florida over Michigan State. I am taking Duke over Houston.
Same. Florida over Michigan State, Duke over Houston. Florida Duke national title.
Who are you picking to win the national championship?
Florida. Florida's the best team. Florida's the hottest team. They have depth everywhere. They have multiple guys that can get hot. I just think that this is their time.
I am picking Duke over Florida. So there you go. Selections are in. Hopefully you'll join us at Mr. Chubby's tomorrow out at Chafee Road and I-10 out there on the west side. Looking forward to seeing some folks out there. And, of course, Top Dog on Friday in Bartram Park. We'll be out there as well, both Thursday and Friday night, 6 to 8. Hacker will follow me, so we'll be out there 6 to 10. The SEC sent in 14 schools this year. It's a record. You got to go back to 2011 when the Big East sent in 11 schools. But the SEC with 14 this year, and I only have one of the 4 going to the Final Four. That is Florida. The ACC only sent in 4 this year. As a matter of fact, the list went like this. SEC 14, the Big 10 with 8, the Big 12 with 7, the Big East with 5, the Atlantic Coast Conference with 4, the Mountain West with 4, and the West Coast sent in 2. Last night was a thriller for Hoop fans. If you stayed up, actually it was the first game that actually did take place. The final second, kind of a misplay and under the hoop and able to put it back up. Alabama State, a 70-68 winner against St. Francis out of Pennsylvania. Then North Carolina was dominant. They were up 47-23 in the first half of play. and then went up to outscore them 48-45 in the second half. So a very comfortable 95-68 win for a couple of 11 seeds last night. North Carolina did advance. And we're underway now, winding down. Just a couple of seconds left in the first half. Mount St. Mary's up 45-36 against American University. Again, another couple of number 16 seeds. And then coming up tonight at 9:10, Xavier and Texas, a couple of 11 seeds. Xavier's favored in this basketball game by 2.5 points. A bucket here by American University, so they close it to 45-38 with 15 seconds remaining. I haven't even really looked, but I know tomorrow and Friday, of course, you'll be in Vegas for it, which is going to be great. But the early games, it's Rupp Arena in Lexington, and it's Creighton against Louisville, which is a very tight game. Louisville was only favored by 2.5. I picked the upset here. I picked Creighton. And then at 12:40 from Providence, Rhode Island, it's High Point against Purdue. At 1:30, Montana and Wisconsin. They'll do that at the Ball Arena in Denver. At 2 o'clock, SIU Edwardsville against top-ranked Houston. Houston is a 28.5-point favorite. Then you have Alabama State and Auburn. That's at Rupp Arena. Game 2 in Kentucky. Game 2 in Providence, Rhode Island is McNeese against Clemson. McNeese State went away, didn't it? It's now McNeese. Kind of like, remember the years where it was Memphis State, then it became Memphis?
When did that change?
Memphis State, Memphis, decades ago. But I'm not aware of McNeese. That must be new. I didn't get that memo. At 4 o'clock tomorrow, VCU BYU in Denver. Game 2 there. Georgia and Gonzaga. That's in Wichita. The Dogs are a 7.5-point underdog in that game to Gonzaga. Game 3 from Rupp Arena is Wofford and Tennessee. That's at 6:50. At 7:10, it's Arkansas at Kansas. That game actually will be played in Providence, their third game there. Yale and Texas A&M in Denver. Drake in Missouri in Wichita. And then the 4 late-night games. Utah State at UCLA, the 4th overall game from Rupp Arena. Omaha and St. John's. What an unbelievable story with Rick Pitino. And, Florida's going to match up with them. Many believe in the third round, in the Elite Eight, in order to get to the Final Four. The return to Providence, Rhode Island again for St. John's. So, remember earlier this year, our friend Tim Brando had a St. John's game where that was actually the case. UC San Diego and Michigan. That's only a 2.5-point Wolverine favorite in this game. You picked UC San Diego, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go with that 12-5 upset, which is prominent year after year after year. And then we'll wrap it up. Night 1 will be UNC Wilmington against Texas Tech. That's a 14 against a 3-seeded matchup in Wichita, Kansas. If we had 1 or 2, I know Virginia lost to a 16. Have we had another one since?
Yes, we had another one here recently. I want to say it was 2 years ago. Let me check that for you.
The Virginia one was like 4 or 5 years ago, and then they turned around. Tony Bennett won a national title the year after. But why do I want to believe it's happened for a second time? I should know that. Sadly, I do not. It's a great sports day. Today was day 2 of Major League Baseball, the Tokyo Series. The Dodgers are winner again. Ohtani with a home run today. Again, the big news there for the Los Angeles Dodgers is they've played 2 regular season games now without Mookie Betts, who was ill, and without Freddie Freeman, who's got a problem with his ribs, but no problem at all for the defending world champions. They go to 2-0, knocking off the Cubs in back-to-back days. They'll come back home here. The regular season will begin a week from tomorrow on March 27th. Also, Valspar tomorrow, right? I mean, Copperhead. This is a par 71. It plays 7,352 yards. The purse is only $8.7 million, which really pales in comparison to last week here with the Players' Championship that gave out $25 million. It's a decent leaderboard, not a tremendous one. I saw that Xander Schauffele is going to try to bounce back. Billy Horschel is in it. Tommy Fleetwood is in it. Jordan Spieth is in it. A couple of other notables stuck out for me who were teeing off. Will Zalatoris, of course, made a run over the weekend. Camilo Villegas is going to play. Justin Thomas is going to play. I think that's it as far as Luke Clanton, the amateur out of Florida State, is going to be playing in this event as well. And Rory McIlroy announced he'll play in Houston for one more tune-up before the Masters, which is 4 weeks away. Whether you're ready for it or not, the first major coming up this year during the calendar year is a month away. All right, when we do return, let's get a few more of your texts in at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, we need to check in with our good buddy Rafael Esparza. What is the latest? Duke and Florida are considered the teams to beat. Where has the money gone on those two schools? We'll find that out on the other side as Rafael Esparza joins us.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Sports entertainment for the First Coast. Is this not why you are here? This is Jack Sports Radio, 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors to get the job done right. Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit Coastal Equipment for a demo today.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Miller Lite for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. The overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the free beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March, the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
Family owned and managed for 20 plus years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
What is the smallest NFL stadium? The answer coming up.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Soldier Field in Chicago is not only the smallest, but is also the oldest, built originally in 1924.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
And today, the Jacksonville Jaguars added their 10th free agent. They bring in a former Florida Gator who just won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, a one-year contract for Fred Johnson. 6 starts last year in Philly. Guy was done a few different things along the offensive line in Philadelphia. So, once again, just incredible competition on this offensive line. We're all under the assumption that Robert Hainsey and Patrick McCarty are starters. And now you bring in Fred Johnson. So 10 free agents, 8 on the offensive side, only 2 on the defense. 4 of the 8 are offensive linemen. Are the Jaguars done? Are they going to make some more moves? I happen to believe that they certainly, to steal from James Gladstone, they are raising the floor. And I think this means competition. I also think it means they're really gutting the end of their roster and just trying to do the best they can to improve their 53.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Rafael Esparza joins us on the eve of the NCAA tournament, although it's technically going on right now. Also went on a night ago. Rafael, always a pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, I love being on hold. But you talk with Jacksonville football, the Jaguars. It's March Madness. It's March 19th. It's about brackets, not Jaguar football.
We're well-rounded here. You know, we touch it all. We just went through our brackets, and I have Duke knocking off Florida. That's a surprise. Dylan had Florida knocking off Duke. Is that where most of the money is going on these two teams?
Yeah, I would say Duke and Florida, yes. Some Houston money came in. Everyone, if you say the first number one to lose, everyone's saying Auburn, which I kind of agree. I think they have a bad matchup against Louisville or Creighton, and then they have to play Michigan State on the bottom of the South bracket. So I would say yes. I have Houston. I think Houston's defense is going to be a lot to handle for the tournament.
All right, so is that who you like here? You like Houston to win it all?
It's going to be either Houston or Florida. I think one of those two number ones win it. I hate going against Florida because they have 7-footers coming off the bench left and right. But I'm a big fan of defense, and I just think this is Houston's year with their defense.
How about a 12-5? Where's the big upset coming this year?
Ooh, and you know, not more of the 13 seeds like Yale versus Texas A&M, a lot of that one. Not that much 12-5s. Robert Morris could be very interesting if Alabama can't hit their three balls. I mean, I think that's a lot of it. Wolford Terriers against Tennessee. Wolford, their backcourt can bother them. But I think if you looked at probably money coming in, I would have to say Robert Morris.
Okay. Has anything surprised you either by the amount of money that this team has received early on, or perhaps just the lack thereof?
I think the money that's come in on UC San Diego right off the bat. I mean, if you looked at it, this number should have been like around a 3 or a 4, and the money continues to be stagnant on the Tritons. That's why Michigan's at a good price at 2.5. A lot of money coming in on Montana against Wisconsin. That one's very interesting. Utah State, UCLA, a lot of money coming in on UCLA as of late. I would not be shocked if this one goes to 6.5 by tomorrow. It's the 8 o'clock game or 9 o'clock your time tomorrow. So this will probably be like around a 6, maybe even close to a 7-point game tomorrow. So if you like UCLA, I would hurry up and get that now.
Transfer portal. A team like UC San Diego, these smaller teams, smaller conference teams, they typically made runs because they had a roster that was filled with guys who played on their team for 3 or 4 years, and then even blue bloods would be one and dones or what have you, and they could always be ripe for an upset. Is that changing even for these smaller schools now, where that's no longer, kind of a theory of looking at a way to bet this?
Well, I'll use the San Diego school that you mentioned. Yeah, they had transfer ports, but they went in right to the JUCO players as well. Their team has a lot of JUCO players, and I think they wound in on defense. They're one of the toughest defensive teams, and they went 25-7 against the spread this year, so you can't overlook that one. But Drake is another team you want to kind of look at. They have some nice transfer portal teams, their backcourt and their depth that can maybe give Missouri some problems.
Your time, it would have been, 3:10 in the morning. Were you up for first pitch between the Dodgers and the Cubs?
Yes, I was, because I was finishing up some prop bets. And I can say that my Chicago Cubs, they're my team. They were undefeated in the United States.
Yeah, and they'll start a week from tomorrow back here in the USA. Okay, money. Is it all Dodgers? Where are the Braves? Where are the Yankees? The Yankees lost their Haas, their number one ace, and Garrett Cole. The Mets add Soto. Where's the money going right now in Major League Baseball?
I can guarantee you by first pitch, when you ask me that, when the first pitch is getting ready to go, where the books are just going to be rooting for Dodgers not to win the World Series. We had the Yankee money all summer long, but then it's just been flooded in. And ever since today's game, when Ohtani hit a home run, I did a refresh on my computer, and future tickets were piling in on the Dodgers. So I can guarantee you at the end of the day, we're going to be rooting against probably the Dodgers, because let's face it, they have the best team and the best pitching, I think.
Yeah, and they went out and won both games without Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. I mean, it just didn't matter to them. They just went out and got it done there during the Tokyo series. Rafael Esparza, always a lot of fun, young man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy those games.
There he goes. Yeah, we'll have 16 tomorrow. I'll be out at Mr. Chubby's, Chafee Road and I-10. Hacker to follow. That'll be what we have planned tomorrow, 6 to 10. I'll be out there 6 to 8, and then 8 to 10 Hacker Nation. But it's Mr. Chubby's right off of Chaffee Road in I-10. And then on Friday, we'll be in Bartram Park at Top Dog, which I have been to a few times. I've yet to do a radio show at Top Dog. I've done quite a few at Mr. Chubby's, including out there at Chaffee Road for about 2 consecutive years. I did shows at Mr. Chubby's, primarily in Ponte Vedra and out at Fleming Island, but I have done a few out on Chaffee Road. And again, that's what will be tomorrow. Mr. Chubby's, I-10, and Chaffee Road.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Yeah! We got a new jingle. You are back from Maine/Boston. How was it?
It was fun, but today is one of those days where you just realize how long 24 hours is.
Yeah.
I woke up at 3 a.m. in southeastern Maine to Portland Airport, to Baltimore, to Jacksonville Beach to pick up the dogs, back to Mandarin, get a shower, get an hour nap, and here I am ready to roll.
Bitterly cold?
It wasn't bad. The cool thing was there was still a little bit of snow on the ground for Forrest to play in. He had some cousins up there that they got to play in a little bit. I think most of the snow will be gone in the next week or two. I woke up this morning, it was 25. It was going to get up to the high 30s today, but they're expecting it 40s and 50s in the near future.
So you guys were in Maine. Unfortunately, you did not take Forrest to the St. Patrick's Day parade.
I did not. We did not make it there. We did go to Kingston, Mass, and that was a cool place. I do like Kingston, Mass a lot, right outside of Boston. Boy, they are just really fed up with your Boston Bruins up there.
Oh, I know they are.
Oh, Heidi's family is inconsolable about the Boston Bruins. I heard all about it for 72 hours.
Well, how about they trade Brad Marchand and then they turn around and beat both Tampa and Florida?
Yeah, I saw that. And then they lose to Buffalo, who's like the worst team in the league.
All right, everyone's picking the Florida Gators to win the national title. You like that? You like the fact that, Duke is a favorite too. Those are really the two teams. Do you like all the pressure being on the Gators?
It comes with the territory of being 30-4 and being SEC tournament champions. They're not under the radar, and Todd Golden alluded to that on the Scott Van Pelt show yesterday. So you either embrace it or you worry about it, and I would choose to embrace it on Florida. They're certainly one of the favorites. Duke is as well. Auburn is. And I'll tell you, Rick, in filling out my bracket, I literally did it 5 minutes ago. I was trying to find some double-digit seeds, trying to spice it up a little bit. Man, I smell a lot of chalk over the next 2 days. I smell a lot of chalk.
Dylan picked quite a few upsets.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's either going to be very right or very wrong, because I picked very few upsets. I think North Carolina was the only double-digit seed I had winning in round one.
I think out of the 32 first-round games, we were different by about 12 or 13.
Wow.
In the first round.
Wow.
So, and of course, he's on his way to Vegas, so maybe he's going to come back a millionaire. So you got all that. What else is up tonight?
Yeah, there's obviously a ton to get into with March Madness. We're going to have Jerry Palm of CBSSports.com, also Mark Wise of ESPN to help you fill out your bracket. But we're not going to go too far away from the Jaguars as well. Our guy Eric Dilla, is going to join me coming up here in about 20 minutes to look at the free agent haul the Jaguars had.
Hack, good to have you back. Have an outstanding show.
Thanks, Rick. I'll see you out there tomorrow at
yes,
Mr. Chubby's.
Mr. Chubby's. Come on out. Those, out there on the west side, love to see you. Always some good people out there. Right off of Chaffee Road and I-10. We will be out there from 6 to 10 tomorrow. I'll do my show 6 to 8. Hacker will join you at 8 o'clock. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for your time. Thank you to John Oehser. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Dylan, have a great time out in Las Vegas.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you next week. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Mr. Chubby's, the west side, right off of Chaffee and I-10. We'll do it at 6 o'clock.